Hi, I'm Norm Kern and I'd like to welcome you to Access MC, Access to Motorcycling. Each month we take you to motorcycle events, both amateur and professional. Once again, we're coming to you from the American Motorcyclist Association Heritage Museum in Westerville, Ohio. This unique museum was built to showcase and preserve America's motorcycling heritage. This month, we're going to Greenville, Ohio for the annual Peace Pipe Enduro hosted by the Treaty City Motorcycle Club. This is the third time we have covered this event. It's probably the favorite of our viewers. Since it's held in November, it's usually cold and wet, but this year it was unusually warm and dry. Riders who went expecting the worst were probably disappointed, but not much. More spectators come each year. Admission is free, and all you need to do is follow the crowd. Everyone has a good time. Here we are at the Treaty City Motorcycle Club club grounds. It's located on Route 571 northwest of Greenville. People get there early and unload their bikes and get everything ready and signed up. That's the Treaty City Motorcycle Club clubhouse where sign up and scoring is done. There's always a lot of activity inside the clubhouse. These fellows are lining up to sign up. Here they are filling out their paperwork. A visit to the Treaty City Clubhouse is always a treat because they have so many pictures from old events on the wall. You can see back when they used to run Harley Davidsons and other big American bikes and Enduros. Here we are at the start. 4 riders leave each minute based on the number that they were assigned when they signed up. And they're off.
Okay, start them at 15 seconds. We'll have 10 minutes here. We won't have anybody. But don't get excited and leave because 55 or 56 should be the last number. Like I said, 5 seconds. It's going to be close. I don't think we're going to make it. Have to send you guys out there.
This time they had about 200 entries. And here they come into one of the early wood sections. This is a little creek crossing that's over near a gravel pit. This fellow got on the gas just a little bit too much, lost traction. You can see most of the riders get up some momentum before they go up the hill, and they practically coast on up. It's hard to see, but there are some low-hanging branches over the creek there, which are a potential problem for riders. Like that fellow right there. Here's another creek crossing that's a little bit further down the trail. And we were at this one the previous year. always have to be careful in creek crossings because there are ruts and holes that are underwater where you can't see them. The steam you see here is coming off of a hot engine that just got wet. And this is the infamous swamp. It wasn't quite as bad this year as it usually is, but it still provides a lot of entertainment for the spectators. It always looks like the riders really tear it up, but yet, when you go back the next year, it's always back the way it was originally. In just a few months, all the ruts go away and fresh weeds grow. It's hard to believe that it's drier than usual. The better riders keep their feet on the pegs, they sit back on the seat to keep the front wheel light, and they maintain a lot of speed, like this fella here, which improves their stability. Now watch this fella. Just about runs over one of our spectators. These guys come every year and bring their signs to heckle the riders. And here's the big mud hole. This spot always attracts a big crowd for obvious reasons. The fellow you'll see here crashing in a moment is Bert Dunlop, and we'll talk to him later, and you'll see he tells, here he is, You'll see he tells a completely different story than what actually happened. Watch this. You won't be hearing about that later. A lot of people wonder why they put a nasty place like this in the Enduro every year. The truth is that the farmer who lets them use his property here always insists that they put streamers along both sides of this so that the riders have to go in between them, because the farmer likes to watch the riders flounder in the mud. As with other enduros, the goal in an enduro is to try to average a particular speed throughout the course, usually 24 miles per hour. Obviously, some places it's a little bit easier to keep up your average speed than it is in others. And it's obstacles like this that slow the riders down and cause them to lose points, and that's what separates the winners from the losers. Now you'll have to watch this little sequence here. This fella tries to get going. While he's trying to get going, a couple of other people come through. And he goes a short ways and then stalls out. And then two of his friends come out to help him. But I think they need more help than he does. First, this guy falls down. He's obviously not dressed to get muddy either, but he does. There he goes. The other fellow falls down, and then his hat falls off. They don't really wind up giving very much assistance. There's a fellow standing out in the middle. See him in brown coveralls. He's a fellow Enduro rider, and he knows all of these guys, and he's intentionally sending them to the very worst place to get across so that he can use his camcorder. It may seem strange, but most of these riders will complain more about an Enduro that's too easy than they will about one that's too hard. And here they come right up to the finish. And Ron Rehmert, the club referee, is right there to hand them their scorecard.
Back out of retirement again, or what? Don't be there next year.
Scorecard's carried on the front fender in a little plastic bag. And when the event's over, they tear the bag open and they hand one copy to the rider for his receipt.
And ride today? How'd you do?
Okay, I have with me Kirk Sessions, and he's going to tell us about how he did on the run. Tell us what happened, Kirk.
Well, Greenville is pretty tight course today. A lot of woods, a lot of logs down, a lot of tight trees and everything. They had all the great creek crossings of the past Enduros, but they weren't as deep. And I didn't have any problems through them, but I hear some of the guys got knocked off their bikes a couple times. They didn't watch where they were going. And basically I had a good day today. It was a good run. Just had to keep moving. And I fell a couple times. You had just got over the logs and just had to watch where you were going.
Were you early at any checks?
Nope. Zeroed the ones I needed to.
Yeah, that's good.
And just lost a little bit of time in the tight woods.
How did you go through the big mud hole?
Wide open.
Wide open? Did you go along the side or through the middle?
I went along the side and I got all the way through near the end, and then my bike slipped out on me. I did a 180 and just kind of fell down, and I just picked it up and spun it around again and just got back going again.
I've got Bert Dunlop here. Bert rode the Enduro. Tell us what happened.
I had a great time. I had a meeting with a couple trees, slowed me down a little bit. Made it through all the mud holes. I highly recommend this for anybody who wants to come out and have some fun. And when I get all done today, I'm going to Disney World.
You're going to Disney World. Okay.
Isn't that where everybody goes?
I see you had an encounter with some tree branches and things.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. A lot of tree branches. You get a few scrapes and bruises and stuff.
Yeah, they had a lot of sections this year they don't usually run, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the old standbys, the swamps and the mud holes.
Yes.
They were fun.
How'd you make it through the big mud hole?
Wide open.
Wide open on the side or
All over.
All
I just go from side to side.
I see. Just kind of rattled around in it.
Yeah, just let the bike go where it wants, hold her wide open and go with it.
How'd you go through the swamp?
Same way.
Wide open.
Wide open,
right
side
down,
to side.
Side to side. Okay.
I try and pick a trail, to follow, but I always end up out of shape going from side to side.
Yeah. Well, I understand you had to change your spark plug. What happened there?
Well, the one that was in there quit working.
Oh, well.
And so I had to change it, put another one in, and it cost me a lot of time.
Okay, we have here Jeff Russell, who's the brand new National Enduro champion, and he came to Greenville this year to get some practice or something. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your ride today?
Well, actually, that is the main reason I come up here, is to see what kind of terrain they got and what kind of trail to expect for next year for the National Championship race. And they did a real good job there on the course, and they had a few problems here and there, but all in all, they did a real good job.
Yeah. Was there any particular place that you had a lot of fun or a lot of trouble?
No, actually, all in all, it was a tough race. It was tight and technical, and they did a real good job, but nothing too tough. A little swampy here and there.
Yes, a little bit.
And I crashed at the spectators' point, I'm sure, if anybody was there with the camera. And
well, that's good. Everybody is supposed to do that.
yeah.
Which way did you go through the big mud hole? Did you go to the right or did you?
I kept crossing back and forth because when the ruts go like this, I always try to go cross because that's where you're hitting on solid ground.
Yeah.
So,
okay. And in the swamp, you just ran right down the middle. Pretty much.
I can't really remember which one. I know there was one real long one that I kept crossing back and forth, but I just tried to use my best judgment when I got to. I didn't get stuck all day, so I must have did something right.
They didn't have too many big hills, did they?
No, it's pretty flat up in this part of the area, this part of the country.
They run you through any plowed fields?
Yeah, did their fair share of that too, and it was, all in all, as far as it was a very good race.
Back.
The Peace Pipe Enduro, which will be run November 8th, has become a national event this year. We will take you there in a future episode. Well, that's all we have time for this month. Remember, there will be a new show next month. In the meantime, I invite you to join the over 7 million people who enjoy the world of motorcycling. See you next time.